Modern Warfare 3 could be the most rushed game ever made. A brand new Steam Deck gets announced, and Netflix delivers teasers for Arcane Season 2 and Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm Dixon, and this is Ginx News. It's the release day of Modern Warfare 3, meaning the internet is about to erupt with terrible reviews from people who've still paid the full $70 anyway. Now, it was always rumored that this game shouldn't really exist. Instead, it was pitched to developer Sledgehammer Games as an expansion to Modern Warfare 2. Well, over a dozen current or former devs have now confirmed that was indeed the case. Now, Activision deny this and say it was conceived as a premium game from the start, but if anything, they should really hope that's not true. The campaign lazily reuses old Warzone assets, the multiplayer maps are nearly all from 2009's Modern Warfare 2, and the Zombies mode reuses the new Warzone map. If that's what Activision calls premium, then that's rather embarrassing for them. Well, according to developers, the plan for the game was left ambiguous for the first few months, while others were directly told it was to be an expansion, which makes sense as the game allows players to transfer their weapons and gear from last year's game. And originally, it was set to be a smaller scale spin-off set in Mexico, with the single location cutting down development time. Well, that was scrapped by Activision for the direct sequel to Modern Warfare 2 that we have now. The reboot ate into the schedule and forced the developers to complete the new campaign in just roughly 16 months. And man, is that reflected in the reviews, because they are bad. And I mean, you've got to feel sorry for the developers here. They clearly grinded hard to get this out in time, but ultimately the vast majority of fans buy these games for the multiplayer, and we all know how much nostalgia sells. And considering the core gunplay has moved in a direction that the community was begging for, in the end, it's probably still going to make Activision, well, Microsoft, a whole ton of money. Back at BlizzCon last weekend, World of Warcraft clearly stole the show. 3 new expansions, a rather delicious looking CGI trailer, and a whole bunch of cool stuff for Classic, making it seem like Blizzard were heading for a clean sweep. Well, that was until they announced the different editions for the upcoming expansion, The War Within. You have the standard version for $50, then there's the $70 Heroic Edition that comes with an extra mountain pet, and finally, there's the Epic Edition, and for $90, you get guaranteed beta access, previously handed out via a lottery, and also what people are now upset about, 3 days of early access. Now, I hate this for 2 reasons. First of all, it's a big middle finger to the player base who are less well off. I mean, we're already paying a sub on top of a $50 expansion price. And let's be honest, times are bloody tough right now, and a lot of us play games for a brief respite for this already broken world. Secondly, one of the beauties of an expansion launch is the horde of players gathering up and discovering this new place together for the first time. When the servers can handle it, that is. Well, game director Ion has now addressed the early access, saying, "It is a trend across the industry that we're paying attention to. A number of games have done it." Which is terrible justification, like that's literally something a child would say. Why did you do this awful thing? Well, everyone else is doing it. No, shut up, stop being greedy. Now, he did also go on to explain that people with the early access won't have a competitive advantage. Specifically, the early access period won't have most endgame advancement opportunities. Those don't normally open up until a week after launch. But I still don't really buy that, because you still get more time to reach max level than everyone else. I'm curious what you think though. Am I overreacting, or do you also hate these early access bundles too? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The OLED Steam Deck has been announced and could be in your hands from the 16th of November. 21 months and over 3 million unit sales since its release, Valve are ditching the 7-inch LCD screen in favor of a 7.4-inch OLED one, marking it as the first ever handheld with HDR OLED. It's going to be lighter, have a longer lasting battery, and generally just be better in most ways than the launch version. But Valve are keen to let us know that this is an upgrade and by no means the Steam Deck 2.0. According to a report by Bloomberg, Valve product designer Lawrence Yang has said that they're still working on the Steam Deck 2 and that it will feature a next-gen upgrade in power, but that it's 2 to 3 years away. Hardware engineer Yazan Al-Dahayat went further, saying, "Obviously we'd love to get even more performance in the same power envelope, but that technology doesn't exist yet." Which is fair enough to me. There's no point in releasing the next gen device if the technology isn't there yet. I'm looking at you, Wii U. So wait for it to catch up and then hit us with the next big boy. It's not like the Steam Deck has been around forever anyway. If we conservatively estimate that we'll be getting the 2.0 in say 3 years, that's still less than 5 years since the original came out. We had to wait 7 years for the current gen of consoles, so it's really not that long considering. And while it's nice we're getting this OLED model, perhaps the best news is that we've had a straight price drop for the Steam Deck. A 512GB LCD model was $650 yesterday. Overnight, it's now $450. Meanwhile, the new OLED is $550, so price drops all round. We're almost at the end of Netflix's Geeked Week, where we've had sneak peeks of things like Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Ultraman Rising, and Devil May Cry, but it's not over just yet. Fans of League of Legends will be happy to hear that the second season of the Emmy-winning Arcane finally has a release date. What they won't be happy about is that it's still a year away. In a very, very short teaser featuring Ginx just walking away from the camera, Netflix announced that it will arrive in November 2024. And that's pretty much all we got. Now, considering the animation quality of Arcane, and God, does it look good, it's unsurprising that it's taking 3 years between seasons, as painful as that is. Luckily, while we wait, Netflix announced the release date of another series I'm incredibly excited about, Avatar: The Last Airbender, coming February 22nd. One day after my birthday. It's the first time we've had a live action adaptation of the Nickelodeon animated series, and God, is it looking good. There is no movie in Ba Sing Se. Now, I love the original, but it's important to temper expectations here. The original creators were involved with this production at first, but later left for undisclosed reasons. However, it's nice to see that the cast hasn't been completely whitewashed, because that would be crazy, wouldn't it? And there's no indication that anyone pronounces the main character's name wrong, because that would be crazy, wouldn't it? And with the bending looking sick and a whole series to let the story breathe, I'm really hoping they pull this off. After all, it's riding on the heels of the delightful One Piece adaptation. And that's the show. Thanks for watching. As always, it's been a super fun week, so make sure to catch up on all our other videos around here. A like and subscribe is always wonderful. And otherwise, have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch you Monday.